Folks, and what we've got here, we're going to do a teardown. It's this is a Alex Higgins plays electronic cue ball from the 1980s, I would presume. Yeah, and this is complete in the box, and it belongs to a friend of mine, and he's asked me to sell it for him. But before I do, I've done a repair on this before, and it's in lovely mint condition near enough. It's lovely and clean. Got the instructions with it as well. I'll try and keep all that nice. All the polystyrene's with it. So what we'll do, we'll lift it out of the box. We'll put the instructions back in the box, and we'll put the box safe. There we go. And basically, it could do with a bit of a clean, but yeah, it does work. I will see if I can get some power into this. Basically, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batteries. That's 9 volts. I haven't got 6 batteries, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to give it 9 volts to get it to work. Anyway, what we'll do, we'll undo this and we'll see what's inside. We'll see what makes this thing tick. That's what it's all about. It's a little pool table there, and you can play 2 players. It's got angle, aim, shoot. I think you can play 2 players. Can't remember now, but I'm not sure if it uses LEDs or if it's got a VDU. I think it's a VDU. I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll find out. It won't be a VDU, will it? Video display unit. No, I wouldn't have thought that. Wouldn't be that. Might have one of them fucking LCD, LED. I think it's got one of them. One of them LED, not LED, fucking hell, I'm getting all fucking confused here. Fluorescent display things. It's got one of them fluorescent displays. I think that's what it's got in it. Anyway, we'll find out in a minute, because we'll take it apart, do a tear down, and we'll see what's in here. I'll turn the soldering iron on in case any wires drop off and I can solder them back. But I did a repair on this a while back. It's been sat here for a few years. I did a repair on it a while back for my friend, and he asked me to put it on eBay. There's a mark on it there. I wonder if that'll all wipe off. I'll give it all a good clean because it's still getting sold, this. He still wants it selling. I've checked with him. He wants me to get rid of it, so it'll still be going. Let's pull it apart. I don't want to wedge it anywhere. Oh, it should just pull apart. I'm sure it did last time. There we are. Right. And what we have, what have we got? We've got a little speaker. Something that you find in a little transistor radio. We've got a circuit board here which has got a number of chips on it, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 transistors. Let me just find the magnifying glass. I'll tell you what these chips are. One of them, I would imagine. I wish I had I wish I had a small computer. I'm going to have to get a small computer so that I can use my microscope. Because I've got a microscope up there, but I ain't got a bloody computer to plug it into. I'll have to get sort of sorted out on that. Right, so let's have a look. That one is an SN75492N. You can Google that. And the other one is an SN75492, and they're both the same. I believe they're Texas Instruments parts. And that one there is a TMS 1400 LL. That'll be the chip that contains the program. And we've got capacitors in here. 2 capacitors. So let's lift the unit out, and there we are. And there's the game field there. I don't know, I think, to be perfectly honest, all these buttons all work. I know, because I did a repair on this, and the repair I did should be visible. Yeah, I soldered this socket back on here. This socket didn't work, so I soldered it back on. But while it's out, we'll give it a clean. That should lift out. It does, which we'll give all that a good clean in a minute. And because, as I say, he wants to sell this, but I'd like to give it a clean up first and give it a proper test. And you have an on-off switch there. Yeah, so what do you call it, that? I think underneath there is just a series of LEDs, and you can't get that out to look under it. And just seeing if I can get that out to have a look under it. It's probably not removable. No. But I think what's under here, I'm not going to try and do it, but what's under here is actually a series of LEDs, and they light up in a sequence that corresponds with this, so that you can you know, for want of a better word, play the game. It's actually not badly made, to be honest. I mean, I wonder how much it was in the day. But I know all these contacts are good, because I checked them all last time I had it apart. I checked them. And we've got a ribbon cable here, which is a primitive affair. It's just contacts stuck to tape, really. These capacitors here, I don't think I changed them, but what we'll do, is that the capacitor tester? No, it's not. What we'll do, we'll actually test those capacitors, and we'll see if they're okay. If they're not, I'll replace them. But we'll get the capacitor tester, and we'll test them, because if they are a bit dodgy, then I'll replace them. And I know it's all been done then, but just out of curiosity. Right, that's 100 UF. Don't matter about the voltage, because it sees 9 volts. Ain't going to see any more than that. Uh, 119 microfarad and 0.36 ohm. I don't know, I might replace them, and it future proofs it, doesn't it? And this one, 0.84, oh, that's the ESR, that's 10 ohms. Yeah, we'll replace that. We'll do the capacitors in it. We'll replace the capacitors in it, folks. And the reason why we'll do that is it'll future proof it. I mean, 10.6 ohms, that's a lot. But we will test them again once we've got them out the board. We'll put that on there for a minute. We've got the soldering iron heating up. I moved my phone out of the way so it doesn't get splashed with solder or any other contaminant. Get the solder. This is oh god, you got some off the relay. This is This is good solder. This is Jay's Vintage Junk Solder. This is good solder. I got this from Jay because it's leaded as well as I've just got some on my hand. Pulled it straight. Really top quality stuff. Because he doesn't buy rubbish. Anyway. Don't tell me any capacitors are underneath that VDU or whatever that is. No, one of them is. One of them is. So I need 100 microfarad for this one. And what do I want for that one? I can't see until I get it out. And it's underneath that VDU board. I'm gonna have to. Oh crap! I'm gonna have to lift the VDU. Let's take the speaker off. Then I'm not pissing about fucking. Let's take the speaker off. There we go. Right, let's get the speaker off. Right. Take the battery connector wires off. And these are marked plus and minus. These battery terminals, they are marked. And if they weren't, I would have marked them. There we are. We can now get the case out of the way and all the other bits, and they don't risk any damage. My problem is getting this VDU up because it's what I'm going to do. Because it's what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to lift it. I'm going to heat the leg of it, the plastic leg of it up there. It should just push through. That's that one. And then I can melt them back down again. Next one. There we go. I can melt them back down again. You see, I've left enough there for me to get them back on. Now just lift, oops. Whoa. Let's lift that VDU thing up. The display, and I'll check under here for dry joints and stuff as well. But then capacitors really, given that the one of them's really out of spec, it needs to be fucking, they need to be, and ooh, big lump of solder in my sucker. There we go. Right, so what we'll do next is we'll just get the parts out of the parts department. Where's the fucking remote for the camera? There it is. Right. Put a dab of solder on the iron. Really good solder this. I mean, I should ask him where he got it from so that when I need it next time I can get it. I bought some off eBay and it was absolutely terrible stuff. It was, put the speaker out of the way. It was really, really bad, and luckily Jay let me have a roll. Right. Oh. You dopey bastard. What I've done there, I mean, it's a mistake anybody could do. I've desoldered the fucking red wire. There we go. Right, let's try again, shall we, folks? Had a bit of a brain fart there, I'm afraid. There we go. Right. Positive this end. It's marked anyway. Do you know something? I've just fucking desoldered that. I've just desoldered it. It's still fucking... You fucking arsehole. Might have a bit more on it, so see. That's it. Let's just heat this up and pull this one through. Shift the wire out of the way. Right. Because whoever ends up with this, I want it to be reliable, so. I'm happy with that joint there. There's a lot of joints on here I'm not happy with, so we'll give it a once over. It was working last time I tried it, but we want to try and get it as best as we can, don't we? Right, so that one is 100 microfarad at 16 volts. Let's find something that'll do the job. 100 micro 10. I mean 100 micro 16 would be nice. 100 micro 25 that'll do. Right. Hang on, let's put it in the right fucking way. Right. I hope that fucking goes through. Look at that. The fucking holes are a bit fucking... It's a bit fucking far apart, them holes. Bloody hell. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Get my pliers. Well, in this case, my clippers. Just put a little bit of pressure, not so clip it, but just to bend it. And do the same here. Just bend them over. Yeah, the wires are well long, look at that. Oh, well long enough. So now they'll feed through. Bend that one over. So you'll just feed through now. There we are. Right. Grip that with that. Just pull it through so everything's nice and taut. And that'll just, yeah, it should be okay. It's how I was the original. Well, what I'm going to do to be safe, I'm going to fold it, I'm going to bend it over. There we go. There we go. Solder this fucker onto the board. See, this did work last time I tried it, but whether it works now is another fucking matter, innit? But fucking 2014 when I last looked at this. Been here all these years. In fact, my mate's probably forgot that he fucking owns it, but I'll remind him. There we go. Now we can just, hang on, let's just bring that wire through a bit fucking further. There we go. That looks like it was done by a bloody amateur. There we go. There we are, you see. Now I'll get the next one, which I don't know the value of because it's on the other fucking side of the component. But we are marked with a plus and a minus, and the negative is there. The capacitor's right in between them transistors. So try and get this fucker out without desoldering the wrong components. I'll put it outside. I am now. I notice a lot of people use this solder braid and stuff, but yeah, I suppose if you want to. I mean, I've never found it any good. To be perfectly honest, I've never really got on with it. 16 volts. Come on, how many microfarad are you? The value on this is very small. I'm not sure if that's a 3.3 or a 33. If that's 3.3, 80 odd, it was reading a lot. 3.3. Let's test this one again. 3.3, 8.88 point something it was fucking reading, if I remember rightly. Let's just give it another test. And it was reading 10 ohms on the ESR, so that's well and truly wrong. And given that the parts in this are no longer available, you don't want to leave things in that out of spec. Oh, 4.7 microfarads it's coming up, so it must have been 8 before. 4.7 was in circuit, and it's reading 8.2 ohms, so it's full anyway. So we'll put a, I'm just going to check my supper, folks, and then I'll be back. Right, we're back. My supper's on its road to digestion. Right, and basically what we're going to do next is we're going to feed this capacitor into the board. It should be alright because it's the same height as those transistors, roughly. There we are. Bend that over to hold it in place, bend that to just hold it in place. Get the soldering iron wrapped from around my bloody leg. And there's only 2 capacitors in the circuit, so we're okay. Hang on. Oh, it's not as loud as it could have been. Well, as long as it makes up for it on smell, I don't care. Let's clip this lead. Clip that one. Take it down a bit more. Straighten that one up. Clip that fucker. There we are. And then put the just make sure we're right. Yeah, we are. We're okay. Put the back down, just give them a squeeze to just pull them to that. Yeah, that's nice and tight. All we do now is just get the iron and just flatten that. Flatten that. There we go. That's the display stuck back down. Now, let's find something we can connect to try it out. Fuck's sake. Need to find something to try it out. Probably not got a fuck all. There's a plug there. What's on the other end of that? Nothing. Nothing. Nada. Fuck all. There we go. Is that the right size? It might be the wrong size. That fucking would be, wouldn't it? It's the wrong fucking size. Bastard. I haven't got one that size. Don't think I have anyway. Let me have a look. Let's move this thing out of the way for a minute. Let's have a look in my drawer. So nothing uses them fucking dims anymore. Nothing uses them fucking jab little, for not for power anyway. Nothing uses them. I mean, fuck all uses them now, so I've got another one here, but that's too fucking big. I know what I'll do. I know what I'll do. I know what I'll do. I'm not going to chop it out because I've got a use for that, that's why I brought it in here. Power supply, which we've got there. I've got a 9-volt battery knocking about anywhere. There was one. Don't know where it fucking is. I did have a 9-volt battery knocking about. I can't see replacement on it. So what we'll do, we'll get some wire. We'll get some wire. Get some of this wire, that should do it. And what we'll do, we'll connect that one to that side of the battery. Connect that to the red of our power supply. Because both the wires turn the power supply on. Because both the wires have got a stripe on them, you see. So we don't want to connect the wrong one up. So negative, that one. I know that because it's got a DC wrote on it. I just want to make sure the thing comes on, that's all. Turn the voltage down. We want to put 15 volts into the bastard, do we? There we go. Power supply is on. Turn the switch on. Don't know whether it's on or off, we'll soon find out. There we go. There's no speaker connected. If I press that's the number of players. There you go. Well, let's make sure them two fucking power supply wires don't fucking hit each other. That goes back in there. Right, there you go. What's your angle? There you go. Oh, that's not shooting, is it? Let's move back down. There we go. No. Yeah, that's it. No, it's not. Oh, that's how you do it. So you put the line on, aim where you want to go, and then hold that button. That's it. The brightest LED is your cue ball, because there's one that's brighter than the rest. So you have to aim it, then yeah. Who on God's earth thought this was a good game? I've potted a white, but I don't know, I haven't. Who on God's green earth thought this was a fucking, as if there is a God. Who the fuck thought this was a fucking good game? Let's solder the speaker back on and amuse ourselves. Make sure the sound works. Get on there, you fucker. Get on. That's it. Now do the speaker. Do the speaker wire rather. Let's turn it back on. Here we go. Right. And what we do, we press something and it sets the balls up. Press that. That's how many players. That's set the balls up. Then you, there we go. I think one went down, didn't it? What a load of shite. What a crock of shit. Who the fuck thought this was a good game? Oh, I got one. I got another one. So the brightest LED is the cue ball. The one that's the brightest out of a lot of them is the cue ball. But basically it's working. So it is working. It can be put back together. It runs on a bit of plastic in me fucking hair. It works on 9 volts. Disconnect the power supply. So it works on that, so it does run on 9 volts, so it is a 9 volt supply that it needs. Or six AA batteries to give it 9 volts. Don't know how long they'd last. I mean, I looked at it years ago, and the socket was damaged that you plug the power into, the external power into. So I soldered that back up, but because it's not been touched for a long time, I thought it best to give it a once over, and it can now be sold as guaranteed working, you see, rather than fucking you know, it can be sold as tested. I don't know whether I'll put it on marketplace for a fixed price and chance me arm, or whether I'll speak to the owner. Speak to the lad who owns it. He told me originally put it on eBay, but I don't fucking use eBay. It's shit. Don't use it unless I have to. So we'll give the playing screen. So it is actually LED. I thought it was. So what we'll do, we'll give this a quick clean. And it can go back together, but it's clean all the fingerprints off from under the underside. I mean, this came from a non-smoking household as well, because the lad who owns this, do you know the scratches under the glass, under the plastic film? There's actually scratches. They would have been there from new. Right. So what we'll do next, we'll take these buttons out and give these a bit of a wipe. give them a wipe, that's all I need. But be careful not to snap them off their things. Put that in there we go. Probably worth a bit more this now because Alex Higgins is no longer with us, is he, unfortunately? No longer with us, the poor fucker. So, just bend that one a bit more. Bend that one a little bit, there we go. But they're all sitting flush, there we are, that's nice. Put the little, give this a wipe. Because I'll tell you why, it's got a fucking mist on it now. But I don't know if it's on this side or the other. Get it clean on this side. There we go. That's good, that will do. I don't suppose it matters which way this fucker goes in. No markings on it. It's the same at both ends. So I would imagine it can go in either way. It doesn't really bother it. The speaker goes in the base. Now the board has to go in a certain way. The board has to go in a certain way, and I hope it's fucking keyed, to be honest. Yeah, I hope it's keyed. And I think it goes that way. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because the power switch is there. Power switch is there, and the power socket's there. So yeah, right. So give this socket give these contacts a bit of solder. No, that's got no solder on it hardly. As now, didn't even look as though it fucking should have had. But we know it should. Quite obvious. Let's put a bit of a wire as well because there's. Let's clean that up. Just drop it on the wire. That's it. That's that done. That slips in there, just drops in. The speaker. Goes there. And you know something, I think it would have been fucking easier. But that's how it all goes, and it just goes together like at least it's supposed to go together like a fucking just drop together, but obviously it fucking didn't for some obvious reasons. It didn't want to. Well, let's have a look. None of the capacitors I've put in a touch it, that goes through the middle there. Yeah, that capacitor there's catching. Let's move it over. There we go. And that one's catching there, so move it over that side and bend it slightly that way. See, that's the issue we have, folks. When they no longer make the right components. Right, well we're right, well we're clear there now. We're flush there now. We're all right. There we go. We're flush there now. We're all right. Put the top back on. Right. That's that. That. In fact, probably the best thing to do is to probably lay that on there. Lay that on there. I just hope I'm putting the fucking right way on. In fact, I can fucking look at this, can't I? That doesn't tell me fucking much. They're all the shots you're supposed to, but I'll give you a look at the manual in a minute. It shows you all the shots you're supposed to be able to do. Let's have a look at this. Doesn't give you any reference, but let me have a look. I think I'm right. Yeah, I am, because the logo's on the other side. Yeah. So what we'll do, we'll pop this top back on. There we are. There we are. Popped it back together. Yeah. There we go. And that's that. That's the Alex Higgins cue ball pool. But I wouldn't mind Alex wasn't even a pool player, he was a snooker player. He probably played pool, but he was predominantly a fucking snooker player, so one or two players age 8 to adult. I can't imagine what kind of an adult would want to sit there playing this. But then again, back in the day, I suppose it was high tech, wasn't it? I mean, you know, it would have been high tech back in the day, wouldn't it? And everybody would have fucking wanted it. And nowadays, nobody does unless you collect old games, old memorabilia, shit like that. I don't collect old games and stuff, so you know, it's not really my bag. Now, what we'll do now, we'll connect the supply back up. We'll connect the supply back up and we'll just test everything. We'll connect the supply back up. We'll just give everything a good test. So that's positive. Shove that on the positive hole. That's negative. Shove that up the negative hole. Now, let's connect it back to our power supply. Negative. And this one here is positive. We'll just make sure that the buttons are in the right places. We haven't come on this time. Yeah. That's on. Oh. That's just well, we were working before, but negative. Let's have a quick look. I might not wire off or something. Might not to wire off. It was working a second ago when it was in bits, so I can't do anything that bad because I didn't. So I might have just not soldered something back in the right place. Well, should I say the wire might have come off. Put the wires back in the right place, so I might not have fucking. Not me, I probably not fucking connected that the right way around. I mean, we've got fucking the negative. I mean, the positive could easily go on that. In fact, let me just try that. It could go that way, couldn't it? The battery. I'm assuming it goes there, but. Right, so that's. Get these two fucking wires and fuck it off for fuck's sake. Let's make sure I don't short my power supply out. There we go, that's negative. So that's positive, so shove that in that hole there. And shove that one opposite it. Yeah. I put it the wrong way around. Not cross-poled it. I put it where there was no fucking connections. In fact, before I do that, let me just make sure that the buttons are in the right places. So what we'll do, we'll connect that back up. I don't want to add any solder to this because I don't want to put any solder on the outside of the case. There we go. Right, that's what we're on now. Select, score, ball up. There we go. Now, angle aim. Shoot. Yeah, it's working, folks. Angle. I suppose the longer you leave it held down, the more power you get. So let's go for... Yeah. Yeah. Right, well that's working, folks. That's working. It can be... Look at that. The fucking power supply is turned off and it's... There we go, look at that. Shows how much current it doesn't drain, doesn't it? Very low. In fact, it weren't taking anything out of my power supply. Now what I'll do, I'll give this a wipe down. Just wanted to check the speaker didn't rattle, it doesn't. But it has been seen, it does work. Can't think why you'd want to fucking play it. It's more of a collector's piece, I suppose, isn't it? I mean, it's been recapped, so it'll be alright for the future. Don't have to worry about any caps leaking in it. Not for another fucking 30 years. Now the speaker's not rattling, it's all nice and tight. Put the cover back on the bottom. There we go. Find the cloth. Give it a wipe. There we go, look at that. Just think, someone on the planet fucking wants this piece of shit. Let's put it back in the box. Look at that, even the polystyrene's in perfect nick. Even got free dust in there as well. There we look at that. Let's see some of the shots that you could do with it. Said I wired out the power supply, there we go. I just want to check my phone before I do anything. What was that? Didn't usually do, I want to turn it off. Oh well, anyway, let's have a look at some of the shots you could do with it. This is about to be a laugh. Just change the, let's move this, put this up here in a minute. It was made by Palitoy. Palitronics. Right on the button, really, right. And there's a picture of Alex Higgins himself. I mean, he probably thought this was a load of shit as well, but he was being paid, wasn't he? So he just said, yeah. Tells you all the instructions there, and it shows you some of the shots that you can do, how to shoot. Yeah, shows you all the different positions. a bit like a sex book, innit? You know, full of positions and none of them any good. Right. Can do this with my glasses off better because I'm looking more at the TV screen than I am. Special features. Oh, let's put my glasses on. What are the special features? Okay, now that's interesting. Let's have a look. Backspin. Whenever the cue ball is whenever the cue ball directly hits another ball, the cue ball will return 0 to 0.12 or 3 ball lengths. 1, 2 or 3 ball lengths, that means. This effect is called backspin. No shit. Yeah. To make the cue ball return 3 ball lengths, shoot at full speed to make it return at... Yeah, we get the picture, don't we? A bit slow. Yeah, you're a bit slower. Yeah, there's actually a break line on this. Doesn't show it though. I mean, you can't put the display lens back in the wrong way around because there's no markings on that. So let's get back. Let's turn the manual back to the camera. Special features. And that's what you get. You know, that told you exactly how to play the game. I mean, and oh, pardon me. You know, they give you all that shit there with it, and then you get to the last page. Make copies of this diagram, then invent your own trick shots. Really? Right. Yeah. Yeah, but the brightest dot is always the cue ball, apparently. Yeah, really. I'd love to know when it was made. I'd say about 1980, 81, maybe a bit earlier. Doesn't say. Be nice if it did. I wonder if it says anywhere on the box. Put that manual back in the box. But that's complete, that. And my friend got bought this when he was a kid, and it spent all its life in the loft, and that's why it's in such good condition, because it spent all its life in the loft. And can you understand why? I can. Because when he got it, he thought, oh, brilliant. And after 5 seconds, he thought, fucking what a load of shite. Alex Higgins, nicknamed Hurricane for his incredibly fast breaking, started playing snooker when he was 10. At the age of 18, he won the first Irish Amateur Snooker Championship. The first of many successes. He was the youngest ever player to win the World Championship, and he has made more than 3,000 centuries, including 5 maximums in his career so far. Oh well, this is a bit out of date now, isn't it, because he's done a lot more than that since. But there again, that's what he's done. I wonder what year it was made. Push button to control blah blah blah. Yeah, it gives you an overview. And there's the bottom of the box. It gives you an overview of you know, the sort of shite you can do with it. I want to know, required but not included are 6 HP 7 batteries, commonly known these days as AA. Yeah. So that's what that is, folks. That's yeah. But that's what that is. The Alex Higgins cue ball pool game. And what's this here? It's great, even faster than I am, Alex Higgins. Yeah, okay. But 3 ways to play pool. I'd rather go down to the pub and order a pint. But yeah. That is what that is. I thought I'd give you a look at it. We'd do a tear down and have a look. And because I don't really do vintage games, computers, consoles. I don't really do that. That's not my thing. I mean, but with this, I thought I'd do it before it goes, because it's got to be sold. So I thought I'd do it before it goes. Anyway, anyway, you all take care, and I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.